This is Tim Bryce with my column entitled, What We Drive is How We Drive. I've always found the relationship between humans and their automobiles interesting. I contend what we drive greatly impacts how we drive. To illustrate, I believe there are basically three distinctly different classes of people who drive. Those who just want a basic form of transportation, those who use it as a status symbol, and those who have a love affair with their vehicle, a sort of connoisseur. Each group sees the automobile differently and as such treats it differently. Those who just want a basic form of transportation are more impressed by the functionality of the vehicle as opposed to aesthetics. Price, reliability, gas mileage, maintenance, and safety are more important than contoured lines, paint, and leather bucket seats. To them, the automobile is a necessary evil. It is nothing more than a tool to move them from point A to point B. As such, it is essentially no different than the role the horse played in the 1800s. You feed it, you give it basic grooming, and you ride the heck out of it. I find these types of people do not establish any emotional ties to their vehicles, yet tend to hold on to them a lot longer than most, as they wish to get their money's worth out of it. If the car is to be used for nothing more than transportation, they typically buy small to mid-sized cars. However, they are more inclined to buy something bigger if they have to transport samples and paperwork, such as what salesmen do, or children. Construction workers are more inclined to buy trucks. The basic people represent the lion's share of drivers on the road. As such, you must remember they're only interested in reaching their destination. Some will be overly conservative, particularly our seniors. Some will go with the flow, some will be hell-bent on reaching their objective, and others will be preoccupied on the phone, shaving, reading, applying makeup, or fixing their hair, as they consider driving a horrendous waste of time. It is this last group that is the most dangerous, as they are more interested in their distraction than driving the car. Those who see their vehicle as a status symbol are trying to make a statement of some kind. Either they are sporty, filthy rich, or use it as a means of attracting the opposite sex, thereby acting as a phallic symbol. Unlike the basic people, looks are of paramount importance. Consequently, they either buy the fastest gas guzzlers, the most opulent luxury vehicles, or something in between. Electronic trinkets are important here, as the vehicle is considered more as a toy than anything else. The status people have emotional ties to their vehicles, only until the next model comes out, whereby they trade up at every opportunity. In other words, owning a car for 1 year is considered an eternity. On the road, the status people have two different driving personalities. They're either fast and reckless, thereby giving the impression they are eccentric and have plenty of money to burn, or they drive rather conservatively, conscious of their investments. Those who truly love cars possess an in-depth understanding of automobiles and a deep-seated appreciation for the design and engineering of the vehicle. Guys like Jay Leno come to mind, as well as people who participate in the many classic car shows across the country. They buy rare cars for several reasons: to remind them of a bygone era, the sheer love of automotive engineering, and as an investment. They drive their car not because they have to, but because they want to, as they truly appreciate the automobile as a remarkable engineering achievement. The connoisseurs are passionate about their vehicles and develop strong attachments to them. However, most will reluctantly part with them if the price is right, and will buy something else to work on. They spend their idle time scouring eBay looking for spare parts, visiting auto auctions, and carefully inspecting different vehicles at car shows. To them, it is a serious hobby, requiring them to possess an in-depth knowledge regarding their subject and a close attention to detail. Those that fall into this category are perhaps the best drivers on the road. They are acutely aware of the capabilities and limitations of their vehicles and drive defensively in order to protect them. They are typically the safest drivers on the road. The basic difference between the three schools of thought is how the human being perceives the automobile, either as nothing more than a tool or commodity, an expression of one's personality, or as a prized investment. These perspectives ultimately dictate our driving habits and how we treat the vehicle. We either see it as nothing more than a mule or workhorse, a stallion out to stud, or a fine quarter horse suitable for racing. These distinctly different perspectives present an interesting dilemma for automotive manufacturers in terms of what types of cars they should be building. Do they develop something for the masses whereby what they lack in profit margin can be made up for in volume? Or do they develop a line of luxury cars which will feature a much higher price tag? Or do they try to design a classic which will stand the test of time? I guess it ultimately depends on who you want to sell to. Basic people, the status seekers, or the investors. Each has a different perspective, and each wants something different. Friends, keep the faith. Friends, I've got the perfect present for you to give to your upcoming college or high school graduate. It's my book entitled Morphing into the Real World, a handbook for entering the workforce, which is a survival guide for young people as they transition into adult life. Reviewer Bill Petrie praised it by saying, every young person entering the workplace for the first time should be given a copy of this book. The book includes chapters to describe how a young person should organize themselves, how to adapt to the corporate culture, develop their career, and improve themselves professionally and socially. Basically, it's 208 pages of good sound advice to jumpstart the young person into the workforce. Corporate human resource departments will also find the book useful for setting new hires on the right track in their career. It not only reinforces the many formal rules as contained in corporate policy manuals, but also includes the subtle unwritten rules we must all observe while working with others. The book lists for $25 and can be ordered online through MBA Press, which you can access through phmainstreet.com/MBA. Again, that's phmainstreet.com/MBA. I think you'll enjoy it and find it extremely useful. Folks, if you have any questions or comments about my editorials, please do not hesitate to email them to me at timb001@phmainstreet.com. Note, all trademarks, both marked or unmarked, belong to their respective company. Copyright 2010 by Tim Bryce of Palm Harbor, Florida, USA. All rights reserved.